This is my Chunkman account. With a mere chunk in his possession and a dream in his heart, he began his quest to conquer the vast expanse of old-school RuneScape's landmass. He started his journey from humble beginnings in Lumbridge, but with an arsenal of custom tasks, he has faced and overcome countless challenges. His journey has taken him through the trials of total level grinding, epic quests, mysterious clues, and perilous encounters with fearsome bosses, all in order to unlock new chunks of land. Now halfway through the journey, the road ahead may be paved with even greater challenges, but with each obstacle overcome, he moves closer to his goal. So welcome to the second half of Chunkman DDK. Last episode we unlocked 5 chunks by completing the quests The Eyes of Glovery, Monk's Friend and the Clock Tower. We also completed the mini quest Barbarian Training, and finally we opened another 25 medium caskets to get up to 225 opened in total. The 5 chunks we unlocked were the entrance to the Warped Dungeon, the glider in the Veldip Hills, the Ardoin Monastery, the Eagle's Peak, and the eastern middle chunk of the Veldip Hills. As we finished last episode with the completion of the first 2 quests in the Monastery chunk, we'll start today with the last one we can do by unlocking that chunk. The next quest we can do after unlocking the Monastery chunk is the Haziel's Cult. For that we are at the Cornelian household and we need to talk to Cyril to see what is up here. Cyril is one of the elite members of the Ardoinian society, and he talks about some cultists from the south of his house that broke in once to steal some armor of his, and then they broke in 4 more times without stealing anything, which is kind of odd. And as the authorities haven't done their jobs, he pretty much asks us to have a look instead. He knows the cultists are from the south of the Clock Tower because his old butler Hickson had followed them there, but he died in his sleep the next night. So let's have a look if we can find that cave where the cultists are from. Found the cave, and then we see a robed figure called Clivet. Clivet talks about the leader of the cult, who is named Haziel, and Haziel is actually a Majrat, so that already doesn't bode that well with our previous encounters with some Majrat. And the reason that they are sneaking into the Cornelian household is because they need something in that house. The house used to belong to Haziel, but because Haziel is a member of the Zamorak faction, the Cornelians are from the Saradomist faction, and that's why they round up everybody around the place. They killed them all together with Haziel, and then they took his house. The thing here is that Haziel is a Majrat, so he is pretty much immortal, and the cult needs something probably to do with that. But as we have already seen the Majrat do some really bad things, we really do not want to side with Haziel, so we will side with Cyril. And Clivet goes into the sewers and runs off. Let's try to board this raft and see if we can follow him. But apparently the current is not going the way we want it to go. There are some sewer valves here though, so let's see if we can actually fix the problem so we can get to their hideout. That should have done it. Let's see. Yes, there we go. All of the Haziel's cultists here, and then we can see a coffin and someone who is probably the high priest here. Just before attacking us, Alamone mentioned that the butler, so the replacement of the old butler, is actually a cultist as well. So that's very interesting information, but let's kill Alamone first. There we go. Easy pickings, and now we can get the armor back. We've kind of completed Haziel's cult with giving the armor back to Cyril. He didn't believe us that the butler is a cultist, to actually finish the quest, we actually need to make sure that the butler does not get his way, probably by killing Settle. But like you see, Hazil's cult is still in yellow, so we are not finished with the quest just yet. We need proof that the butler is a cultist, so might as well check out his bedroom. Well, a bottle of poison and the amulet that is the symbol of Hazil. After first denying that the poison was for rats and not for the people in this household, he finally caved after seeing the symbol from the cultists. And there's the guard to take him away. And that's the actual end of the Hazil's cult. We get 1 quest point, 1500 thieving experience and 2000 coins for our trouble. I'm pretty sure that this is not the end of the quest line, as Hazil is a Majrat and the Majrats are always up to something. But for now, we have completed Hazil cult, and completing a quest of course means that we have completed a task, and the task means we can pick another chunk. Another nice and easy quest, Hazil cult, has been completed. That was quest 106. We're getting up there, and that also brought us up to chunk number 321 we have unlocked. And then back to our map. The last chunk we unlocked was the Eagle's Peak, and that now gives us an option to unlock the chunk next to it, which is pretty much some dead landmass for us, and the one above it was already unlockable. So we are starting to go a little closer to the Kraken's cave, which would be amazing to unlock, but let's see if we can actually get a little closer or if we are going to get something else. Let's pick a chunk. Oh, I hoped it was this chunk here so we could do the Pot of Gluffery, but we get the chunk next to Letia, so we can now pretty much do the entire quest line if we can finally unlock the one just below the fishing guilds. But yeah, Trenman is pretty much all unlocked now, or the woods anyway. It's not a bad chunk, we will need it, as you can see the quest start here, but for now it does not really do much for us. While the current chunk we have unlocked isn't all that useful just yet, the previous chunk, the Eagle's Peak chunk, is actually doable. If I have researched correctly, we should have everything within that one chunk to do the entire quest. Apparently there was a northern ferret here, but just before they released it from the smaller cage into the bigger cage, it actually escaped, which was quite troublesome as the zoo of course needs some animals. In order to get a new northern ferret, they talked with their huntsman and he was going to get another one, but they haven't heard from him in a while, so they want to send us to check up on him. And then after going north for a while, we have reached the Eagle's Peak, but we still need to unlock it, so let's do this just now. And I'm not really sure if we can go around, but we might as well just take the shortcut here. Well, we found the ferret and his camp, but the guy itself is nowhere to be found. Let's see if these books give us anything. A bird book with a metal feather. After some bird hunting facts about the tropical wagtail, copper longtail, all of those kinds of birds, the last page of the book is about the giant eagles. They weren't easy to get to, and the only ones that actually could get to them were the bandits of the Golden Claw. The eagles are said to be at the top of Eagle's Peak, but people have been looking for them but still haven't found them there, so I guess we will have to go investigate ourselves. We can find a outcrop here with a drawing of a feather, and the metal feather here was within that word book, so let's see if that works. And that opens the door. We found a journal of a man called Arthur Artemis, and apparently he was a thief, and he tried to steal something from the gnomes with his two partners. But apparently that all went wrong, and the gnomes actually followed them until here, and then they hid inside this cavern complex. One of his partners in crime was a dwarf, and that dwarf was pretty much going crazy that they were stuck in here. So he started making things within this cave, some kinds of puzzles to pretty much store their loot. The other guy was a kind of tamer, and he found the eagles, and he was trying to get the eagles to do their bidding so they could actually use those to steal things. And that actually went pretty well from what I gathered in this journal. Oh, there we go. A bit further on we can find Nikolaus, the huntman we were looking for. And he seems to be trapped inside the nest of this giant eagle. In order to free him, Nikolaus pretty much needs to be able to walk past this eagle. And he wants us to make a disguise with the eagle's feathers we can find here and take those to the dress shop, the fancy dress shop in Varrock, to make some outfits. So let's pick up some feathers and let's go to Varrock. Asif from the fancy clothes store mentioned that we needed some yellow dye, some swamp tar and some eagle feathers to make all of the things we need. We already have that in our inventory, so that's an easy thing to get the two outfits we need. Now we need to get the outfit to Nikolaus, but apparently there's a big stone door here and we can't get through without getting 3 specific feathers. That's probably the dwarf's work, so let's see if we can get all of those feathers from the rooms close to here. First one, we need to take the feather from the pedestal, but it's not as easy as it seems. After lowering it again, we can just pick it up. That's the bronze feather. After inspecting some tracks in the next room, we can find a cabbage and it leaves us with the silver feather. And after a puzzle, we can find the golden feather. And there we go. We're through the door. Let's equip our disguise and let's walk past the eagle as he now thinks we are another eagle. Let's give Nikolaus the disguise and let's get out of here. And with Nikolaus free, we can finally get that ferret we were coming for. But he will not just give it to us, he will teach us how to actually catch one. We put some meat into a box trap and there we go. One ferret ready for delivery. And with giving the ferret to the zookeeper, we have completed the Eagle's Peak quest. We get 2 quest points, 2500 hunter experience, and we are now able to use the Eagle Transport Axis. I'm not really sure if this is going to help us in a big way, except for that it is used in some diaries, so that might actually give us some things to do after this. And then the last thing is we now have the ability to use box traps, but I don't actually think we have any access to either Grey Chinchompas or Red Chinchompas, but we do have the Wilderness, Black Chinchompa area, yes we do. Okay, so we could actually go for some Black Chinchompas to then go to Cree, probably. Might actually be a good idea to try to get our first kill there in the near future. But for now, we have completed a quest. A quest completion means a task completion, and a task completion means another chunk. Back to our dashboard already for another quest. I really like these short quests. We have completed Eagle's Peak, quest number 107, and that unlocked chunk number 322. And then back to the map. The last chunk we unlocked was the one west of Letia. It doesn't really change much because everything around it was already unlockable or unlocked. So that's one less chunk we can roll. Let's see what is going to be the next one. Let's pick a chunk. Oh boy. The top part of the Damon's Crater, the Bounty Hunter Crater. Well, I guess we have 6 out of 9 now, but this is pretty much something I will never use. To see it in a bright light, there's only 3 left. With the completion of Eagle's Peak, we can now use the transport system with the Eagles. And that's pretty much necessary for a couple of diaries, achievement diaries. The only one we can actually complete is the desert one. So we are here at the Eagles. Let's use a rope on not the jungle eagle. We need the desert eagle here to go to the desert. One flight later and we have completed a medium task in the desert area. That's the first one. Let's also push this boulder so he can actually get in. Oh, we need to be on the other side. Good thing that we have the Eagle's Eerie teleport here, so we can get onto the other side. And let's push the boulder so we can get in next time or get out. Just a bit south, we can set a trap here on this young tree. And with a little bit of luck, one of these orange salamanders will go in. Ah, there we go. One orange salamander caught for another medium task completed. If we cut down this teak tree just within the bounds of our chunks, if we just get one log here, we will have completed another medium task in the desert area. I already changed my house to Polevnich, so if we get in here, we will have done another medium task. After killing an innocent desert goat, we have some goat horn dust which we can combine with a Hairlander potion in the desert for another medium task completed. And then the last thing we need to do is to use this Camelot to teleport to a Nakras temple for another medium task, and that's the last one. So the only thing we need to do now is to collect our reward from Jar at the Shanty Pass. For completing the medium desert diary, we get the Desert Amulet 2, which gives us a free teleport to Narda once a day, which is pretty nice. We can also charge our Pharaoh Scepter with 25 charges if we get a Pharaoh Scepter. And that's pretty much it. Together with the antique lamp, we will put in Herblore, of course. And that's 7.5k. Still 110k to go, so it made a small dent into that grind. That's now the desert medium diary also completed after the easy diary. Let's already have a look at the hard one. Okay. I can already see there are a couple of red things, so we need to have Desert Treasure 1, which we are actually pretty close to having all of the chunks. So that's actually not that bad, and we need Dream Mentor. Dream Mentor is a bit more of an issue as we need a lot more chunks to get there. So for now, it's just the medium diary that has been completed, but a medium diary completed also means a task completed and a chunk to unlock. It has been a while, but we finally have done another achievement diary part. With the desert medium now completed, we also have double digit diaries done. That was our 10th out of 48. And we now have 323 chunks unlocked. And then back to our map after a short while. Let's see what is going to be the next chunk after the top middle part of the Damon's Crater. Let's see what the chunk picker will give us. Let's pick another chunk. Oh boy. It's not really a good one. It's just more of the rocks outside of a lighthouse. It is landmass though. Even if we cannot go onto those rocks, So this counts as our roll. And now we have another one getting a little bit closer to Piscatoris fishing colony. But yeah, this pretty much doesn't do anything for us. And that's going to be the end of the episode. With the Desert Medium Diary completed, we have reached double digits on all task categories, which is pretty nice to see. Next up would be to bring all diaries, bosses and combat achievements to the yellow state, although that might take quite a while. We're also at the end of the questing spree after unlocking quite a few questing chunks, so we're going to go back to do some other tasks in the next episode. I hope you all have an amazing day and see you all in the next one.